Acute stress. Acute stress is the body's immediate response to a perceived threat or challenge, often referred to as the fight or flight response. It's a short-term stress that arises suddenly in reaction to specific events, such as narrowly avoiding a car accident, meeting tight deadlines, or facing unexpected news. While acute stress can be intense, it typically resolves quickly once the situation is over, leaving no lasting harm. However, frequent episodes of acute stress can lead to physical symptoms like headaches, increased heart rate, or digestive issues. Understanding and managing acute stress effectively is crucial to preventing it from escalating into more serious stress-related conditions. Episodic acute stress. Episodic acute stress is characterized by frequent bouts of acute stress that occur often enough to become a habitual pattern. Individuals expressing this type of stress often feel perpetually rushed, take on too many responsibilities, or live in a constant state of tension, commonly described as being in crisis mode. Unlike acute stress, which is short-lived, episodic acute stress can lead to chronic anxiety, irritability, and a persistent sense of urgency. It often affects individuals with a type A personality, who are overly competitive, perfectionistic, or excessively driven. If left unmanaged, this form of stress can escalate to serious health problems, such as cardiovascular disease, depression, and anxiety disorders. Chronic stress. Chronic stress is a prolonged and constant state of stress where an individual faces persistent stressors, such as financial difficulties, an unhealthy relationship, or a demanding job without relief. Unlike acute stress, which is short-term, chronic stress wears down the body and mind over time, leading to serious health implications. Individuals with chronic stress often feel overwhelmed, helpless, or trapped, which can cause lasting changes in brain structure and function. Prolonged exposure to stress hormones like cortisol can contribute to anxiety, depression, cardiovascular disease, and a weakened immune system. Effective management of chronic stress typically requires life changes, professional support, and the development of coping mechanisms to alleviate ongoing stressors. Emotional stress. Emotional stress is a type of stress that arises from personal experiences and emotional reactions, such as grief, fear, anger, or frustration. It is often triggered by life events like a breakup, loss of a loved one, job changes, or significant transitions. Emotional stress can manifest in various ways, including mood swings, anxiety, depression, and physical symptoms, such as headaches, fatigue, or chest pain. If prolonged, it can negatively impact mental and physical health, affecting sleep, appetite, and immune function. Addressing emotional stress involves developing coping strategies, such as mindfulness, exercise, and seeking support from friends, family, or mental health professionals to manage and mitigate its effects effectively. Physical stress. Physical stress occurs when the body is subjected to strenuous demands that exceed its normal capacity. This type of stress is typically caused by factors such as intense exercise, physical labor, injury, surgery, or even lack of sleep and poor nutrition. Physical stress triggers a psychological response, including the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can lead to muscle tension, fatigue, headaches, and increased heart rate. Prolonged physical stress without adequate rest and recovery can weaken the immune system, increase the risk of illness, and contribute to chronic health conditions. Managing physical stress involves balancing activity with adequate rest, proper nutrition, and effective stress management techniques. Psychological stress. Psychological stress is a form of stress that arises from cognitive and emotional responses to perceived threats or pressures. It often stems from situations where individuals feel they lack control or fear negative outcomes, such as looming deadlines, exams, or concerns about personal relationships. Unlike physical stress, psychological stress is heavily influenced by individual perception, meaning what stresses one person may not affect another. The effects of psychological stress can be extensive, leading to anxiety, impaired cognitive function, and decreased decision-making abilities. Over time, chronic psychological stress can contribute to mental health disorders, such as depression and anxiety, and may also manifest in physical symptoms like headaches, insomnia, and fatigue. Environmental stress. Environmental stress refers to the stressors originating from one's surroundings that can negatively impact mental and physical health. This type of stress includes factors such as noise pollution, extreme temperatures, overcrowding living conditions, poor air quality, and exposure to natural disasters. These environmental factors can create a constant underlying pressure that contributes to stress levels, often without individuals being fully aware of their influence. The effects of environmental stress can range from irritability and difficulty concentrating to more severe health issues, such as increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, and weakened immune responses. Prolonged exposure can exacerbate chronic stress conditions, necessitating interventions, like improving living conditions or implementing stress management strategies. Workplace stress. Workplace stress is a common form of stress arising from the demands and pressures experienced in a professional environment. Factors contributing to workplace stress include high workloads, tight deadlines, lack of control or autonomy, job insecurity, and conflicts with colleagues or management. This stress can lead to emotional exhaustion, reduced job satisfaction, and decreased productivity. If left unmanaged, workplace stress may result in burnout, increased absenteeism, and even physical health issues like hypertension or cardiovascular problems. To mitigate workplace stress, it's crucial to foster a supportive work environment, encourage open communication, provide opportunities for professional development, and promote a healthy work-life balance. Effective stress management strategies can improve both individual well-being and organizational performance. Traumatic stress. Traumatic stress occurs following exposure to a distressing or life-threatening event, such as natural disasters, violent assaults, or accidents. This type of stress can overwhelm an individual's ability to cope, leading to intense emotional responses like fear, helplessness, and horror. Unlike typical stress reactions, traumatic stress often involves prolonged symptoms that may interfere with daily functioning, such as flashbacks, hypervigilance, and emotional numbness. These symptoms are hallmarks of conditions like post-traumatic stress disorder. Traumatic stress affects both the mind and body, often requiring professional intervention for recovery. Effective treatments include psychotherapy techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy and eye movement desensitization and reprocessing to address and alleviate symptoms. Financial stress. Financial stress arises from concerns about money management, debt, job security, or economic instability. This type of stress can be particularly pervasive, affecting multiple areas of an individual's life, including their relationships, mental health, and overall well-being. Financial stress often leads to anxiety, depression, and a sense of hopelessness, especially when there are persistent worries about meeting financial obligations or experiencing unexpected expenses. Physical symptoms may also manifest, such as insomnia, headaches, and digestive issues, as the body responds to prolonged periods of financial uncertainty. Addressing financial stress requires a proactive approach, including budgeting, financial planning, and sometimes seeking professional advice to regain a sense of control and stability. Social stress. Social stress arises from interactions and relationships with others, encompassing various sources such as conflicts, social rejection, or pressures to conform within social environments. This type of stress is deeply rooted in our need for social connection and acceptance, making it particularly impactful on our emotional well-being. Individuals experiencing social stress may feel anxiety, loneliness, or a sense of inadequacy, often resulting in strained relationships or social withdrawal. Prolonged social stress can erode self-esteem and increase vulnerability to mental health issues like depression and social anxiety disorder. Effective management involves developing strong communication skills, seeking supportive social networks, and in some cases, professional therapy to navigate complex social dynamics. Developmental stress. Developmental stress refers to the stress experienced during key life transitions and developmental stages, such as adolescence, entering adulthood, midlife, or aging. Each stage presents unique challenges, like identity formation in adolescence, career and family responsibilities in adulthood, or adjusting to physical and cognitive changes in later life. Developmental stress is often normative and expected, but can vary greatly depending on personal experiences, social support, and coping mechanisms. When managed well, it can promote growth and adaptation. However, if not addressed, it can lead to anxiety, depression, or identity confusion. Awareness and support during these transitions are crucial for fostering resilience and well-being across the lifespan.